Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Luke Pulaski. This is the Outdoor Conquest. Today we're doing some kayak modifications. You guys that have been following me for a while, you know I really enjoy fishing from the kayak. I wanted to step up my game a little bit. So what we're doing today is we're doing a full install on the kayak. We're going to be installing a Garmin 93SV fish finder. And I'm going to be using all ram mounts. I'll give you a closer look here in a second, but I'm using the existing track on the kayak. I was going to put one a little bit closer, but this is all just kind of an initial setup because what I want to do is I want to get it on here, get it set up, and then take it on the water and see if this is where I really want it or if I want it on this side. I'm constantly fishing off the left side of my kayak, but I'm always looking this way too, so I thought I'd want the graph on this side. I'm not going to be drilling any holes in the kayak today because, like I said, until I figure out where exactly I want it, I'm going to keep everything somewhat temporary, permanent, we'll call it. So, like I said, I really wanted to put it a little closer here, but I don't feel like this is a piece of plastic that's added on to the kayak itself, and I don't feel like that's a good idea. This track that comes standard issue with the kayak, it's affixed to the molded kayak body itself, where this is just kind of a little add-on. So what we're going to do, I've already got two of these installed. I'll give you a closer look at what I'm using for the mount on the track, and then we'll go ahead with the install of the Garmin 93SV fish finder. So I'll show you guys real quick. This is the standard issue track right here, and this is the mount I'm using. These are the ram mounts. It's these little ball head mounts. If you're using the Big Fish 108 or you have this style track, you're going to have to get these adapters. Unfortunately, these are the Yak Attack track adapters, because this here will not, there's no way to get that to work. Even if you spin it sideways, it won't go all the way sideways. So you need these adapters. And then that baby will pop right in there like it's supposed to. And then this is what it looks like out of the package. Real simple. It's got these indents, and this is like your rubber gasket. So what you're going to do is pop that baby on there first. Start threading that on there. I like to pull up on it a little bit and then make sure everything's seated. But then you can really tighten it down. And I mean, that baby's solid. You can see over here the fish finder mount is solid. So I'll give you a closer look at that while we're right here. So this is how easy it is. You loosen that up and pop that baby off, and it's all spring loaded, the whole system. So you pop that on there. I would probably just leave that permanently affixed to it the best I could, and then you just go ahead and tighten that baby down. And you can always loosen a little bit, spin it this way, spin it that way, get it just how you want it, or tilt your. This is the option I think I'm really going to like, is being able to tilt that screen with ease like that. Just a matter of twisting that, boom. So yeah, these are the ram mounts. I'm sure you guys are familiar with them, but I'll be mounting my transducer arm off of this one right here. Alright, so the transducer arm comes with multiple parts and pieces. We're going to go ahead and assemble it, but it's basically the same concept. These ball and sockets with these wing nuts that are really convenient for attaching and detaching it. I want to be able to take it off when I'm traveling. I want to be able to put it right back on when I get to my fishing spot in a matter of seconds. And this seemed like the best option to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this ram mount, and then we'll hook it up to the kayak and see how it looks. Okay, so here's the ram. This is the ram transducer arm, fully put together. All I had to do, so there's a metal rod in here, and that actually bends. I didn't realize that at first, but it bends. So you attach the bracket that goes to your ball mount, and then you attach your transducer mount down here. The only issue I have so far is this bolt that comes through. I'm going to try to crank that down a little tighter because it doesn't grab a lot of thread. As you can see, the bolt doesn't stick out. They're nylon threaded nuts, but I don't like that I couldn't get a good bite on it, so I may have to grab a little different screwdriver. Same thing with this side, to try to tighten them down a little more. But outside of that, I mean, how much easier does it get than that right there to mount your transducer arm? It seems to hold up really well. I mean, you're going to have flex, you're going to have bend. You know, you're dealing with plastic and metal here, so it's not like it's going to be as solid as concrete, right? All right, so what's going to happen is in the box, you're going to get all these options to mount the transducer to whatever you're attaching it to, boat, trolling motor, which is kind of cool. It's got a trolling motor mount. Well, the option we're going to be going for is this, because this will pair right up real nice to our ram mount. Right up in there. I'll be able to put the bracket just like that. I'll be able to put it just like so, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so there it is, fully installed to the transducer itself, and there's one little extra, probably pretty important, so I got that baby in there. So let's go ahead and get this baby hooked up on the Kayak via transducer arm mount. I've got the transducer itself mounted to the Kayak, and as you can see, I mean, that's about perfect as far as you know, the bottom of the boat, because the boat sits in the water a little bit. I mean, as far as height goes, that looks ideal. So we had a slight hiccup. In order to get my bracket, my screen bracket, attached to the mount, they didn't give any hardware for that. So Ace is the place, the helpful hardware folks, and we went all stainless steel with nylon nuts. There, that ain't going nowhere. I'm a little bit concerned about it being on this side, but the reason, again, I'm doing it this way is because I can easily take all this and move it to that side. So that's it, boys and girls. Those sit there, and that's it right there. Pretty sweet. That ain't bad. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have some wobble with anything you're attaching, but that ain't all that bad. Boom, it's off. So just to show you, I just ran a couple zip ties. Again, this is a temporary setup until I know exactly how I want to do it. Then I'll make it more permanent. Alright guys, so we've got the transducer fully hooked up. In the box, you're going to get this little clip that goes over the threads, because I thought I was missing something, right? Because this clip isn't installed like your power cord here. Your power cord has the threaded nut right on it, right? Your transducer cord won't have that. It's got, in the packaging, for whatever reason, it's got one you snap on there, and that holds that baby in there good and tight. But here it is. I mean, that's fully ready to rock. Got it where I want it. I'm going to now hook up the battery cable. I'm going to hook up the battery, make sure it kicks on, go through a couple settings, and then we're going to go ahead and get it on the water and give it a shot out there and run through some more settings out there and just make sure the transducer is working properly. So what I did was I went and got these connectors, also from Ace Hardware, right? These are insulated, a little nicer than the ones they give you. This is the battery I'm using. This is the Tracker Lithium. It's 18 amp hour, 12 volt, super lightweight. Should power this baby for days if I need it to. It's got a battery compartment in the belly of the Kayak here. That's where I think I'm going to eventually store it permanently. Inside the Kayak actually has this nice little storage here. That's where we're going to hook up our battery when we're on the water fishing. But right now, we're going to go ahead and give this bad baby a go. Oh yeah, baby, we're on and ready. So that's good news. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to load it up in the truck and get it on the water and get it out there, run through some of the settings, and get it set up ready to go. All right, guys, so we're on the water. It didn't really take me all that much more time to get everything ready to go. So one thing I'm noticing is not in my way for pedaling where it's at. I'm assuming this is all grass, you know, weeds. It's actually fairly clear. You can see some of the heavier duty stuff. Those might be fish right above it. Look how clear that is. Pretty wild. And then the weed stops. So the weed line stops, and I mean, I'm right, the transducer's right here. So that's cool. So again, I don't know if these are fish hanging out above the weed line, or we just come into another weed patch. Could be fish hanging out there. So what I'm doing here is you can see I'm adjusting the contrast. That's up to 86%. I switched to side view. So I'm gonna drop it down, and you know, to be able to pick structure or fish out better. The default setting appears to be fairly decent. It's a little mixture of colors, but it appears to be fairly decent like that. So that's your side view, and then you know, you can go into menu, your frequency, no zoom, view selection left to right, range 70 feet. Okay, so you go back. We can go traditional. This is your traditional setup here. Now, as far as changing that, you can change your degree of your beam width. You know, all these different things here, all these different options. So we go menu, that takes us back. So these are all your different screens. You got traditional, clear view, which is down scan, side view, which is your side scan, traditional plus clear view. So you can do your traditional plus down scan. You can do down scan and side scan. Split frequency. Then you got flasher mode for ice fishing. You got data graphs. You can put a SD card in there and record. But for now, we're gonna go clear view and rock it with that. And so far, let's go menu. Contrast, default. So if you brighten that up, yeah, I don't like that. Go to default. Let's keep her there. I do like the default setting on the down scan. So I'm marking fish in here.